Hi, my name is Marlene Kent, and I'm the Science Department Chair at River Springs Charter School in Southern California. Our mission statement at River Springs is that we are a parent choice school where the community is our classroom. Our mission is to foster the innate curiosity of our students, to empower the parents, and to promote optimal learning by collaboratively developing a personalized learning program for each student. We are a K-12 with 11 school sites in 3 different counties, plus a very large population of homeschool students. In fact, we grew 20% this year, and we have a total of over 5,000 students. My name is Marlene Kent, and I am the Science Department Chair in the Instructional Support Department, and my responsibilities include developing curriculum mainly for the high school sciences, both for homeschool and academy students. Number 2, providing monthly mobile science labs in 3 counties for our homeschool and independent students. 3, running a district science fair where our students can go as far as state and international. 4, providing professional development for our elementary, middle school, and high school students or teachers in the sciences. 5, I manage the first robotic teams at our middle school and high school levels. 6, I schedule science field trips for academy and homeschool students in specialized biotechnology areas. And finally, I support our high school PLC team. So the question for the podcast tonight is, what technology skeletons can we find in the closets at River Springs? River Springs is such a changing, fluid collection of diverse buildings and resources with 11 schools in 3 counties that I was hard-pressed to even find a closet, let alone find something in it. However, I did talk to our Senior Director of IT, which is Phil Hermsmeyer, and we discussed the overhead projector, and he says some teachers are still using them, but not very many. He did purchase some recently. Most of them didn't get out of their boxes. They're still packed away. So we are phasing out of the use of overhead projectors. I know the LCD projectors have been installed in many of our classrooms already, and we're actually looking at an emerging technology using interactive whiteboards this coming year. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, the obsolete and emerging technologies at River Springs Charter School. The obsolete one becoming obsolete would be the overhead projectors, and the future emerging ones, which we're starting to implement soon, is the interactive whiteboard using the LCD projector. Since overhead projectors have been in use for several decades, I would not conclude that we jumped in too soon or lost money on them. They were a good investment, and they served their purposes. And like I said, there's still some that are in use today. Some of the teachers prefer to use them for their color transparencies, although publishers are providing all of the transparencies electronically, so they can use the LCD projector if they choose. One way to analyze technologies is to look at them from the McLuhan's Tetrads, the 4 laws of media, in the Tetrad format. And so that we're going to do that with the overhead projector. One of the laws is, what does it enhance? We look for, how does it make things better? The technology for overhead projectors at the time they came in facilitated teaching with visuals, applying SEDI teaching strategies in the classroom, getting information to the whole class, and activities to the whole class without having to make whole class sets of copies. It obsoleted and minimized the need for making individual copies and class sets for the students. What did it bring back from the past, or what we say retrieved? It brings back the storytelling of old, when we had groups telling stories before picture books. And what does it set the stage for the future? The technologies Overhead projectors set the stage for LCD projectors with interactive whiteboards, educational videos, animations, tutorials, whole class interactions, and practice activities on an individual basis too, which is part of our mission statement. Recently at River Springs charter sites, we equipped many of our K-12 classrooms with the LCD projectors and laptops. LCD projectors started replacing the overhead projectors about 5 years ago. We now have them in all of the classrooms, or most of the classrooms. The LCD projector hooked up to a laptop with a graphic tablet can project anything from a laptop computer, including electronic versions of the colored transparencies for which the overhead projector was originally designed, and to allow interactivity by the students with the graphic tablet. In addition to the LCD projector, we're starting to bring the interactive whiteboards into our classrooms. This allows teachers and students to interact with the board as well as project anything from the computer. These are starting to be used in our math classes, but as prices come down, I predict they will be in every classroom. For our e-learning classes and homeschool live classroom sessions, we can take advantage of the graphic tablet, laptops, and whiteboards embedded in our live synchronous Breeze classrooms. Here's a McLuhan Tetrad following the 4 laws of media on the interactive whiteboard and LCD projection. What does it enhance? The technology enhances the whole class experience while individualizing the opportunities to participate, to practice, and for the teacher to do formative assessment throughout the learning process for each student. It also offers the teacher expanded resources from the internet in the form of educational videos, animations, 3D geometric figures, puzzles, and tutorials. What is it obsolete? The technology will eventually replace the overhead projector, TV monitors, videos, and film projections. What does it retrieve from the past? It brings back the days of storytelling before picture books and whole class moving to the blackboard to practice their work and demonstrate their learning. What does it reverse or set the stage for? It sets the stage for future, maybe even for future holographic teaching, home studies, and online distance learning. Now we're going to watch some excerpts from the interview with Phil Hermsmeyer, the Senior Director of IT at River Springs Charter School. First, he'll talk about the overhead projector. Then he'll discuss his plans with the interactive whiteboard. And then later we'll catch up with him again and see what he's got to say about some future technologies at River Springs. In the meantime, following his interview, I also have an interview with the math department chair, James Bruton, who is going to demonstrate the many different math applications when using interactive whiteboards.
My name is Philip Hermsmeyer. I'm the Senior Director of IT and Facilities for River Springs Charter School.
Okay. Hi, Phil. I was wondering if you could give us a little background on, did River Springs ever purchase overhead projectors, and if so, are they in use today, or what's the situation with those?
I think there are overhead projectors still in use and in some of our classrooms. I mean, especially with teachers who have a collection of overhead films that they've been using over the years. I don't see too many of them anymore, but it's certainly a technology that I don't think it's completely obsolete.
Okay.
But you see less and less of them
All right.
over time, that's for sure. We don't order very many anymore. I think we bought 4 for one of our locations about 3 years ago, and from what I understand, only one's being used. The rest are in a box.
Well, I came to here to ask you about the interactive whiteboards, because I've heard that we've ordered some and they're starting to be used and put in the classrooms. But I'd much rather talk about tablets.
Well, we've installed, we've purchased half a dozen for the new Margarita site here in Temecula.
Okay. Hi, Jim. This is Jim Bruton. He's our math department chair for River Springs Charter School. Okay. And he's going to talk to us about interactive whiteboards.
Hi. Well, Marlene, this isn't an interactive whiteboard, but I did set up a projector to show you a couple of things. We have an interactive whiteboard. You might show it up there at the top. which isn't operational right now, but with the whiteboard, the interactive whiteboard that we have right there, it's an infrared and ultrasonic pen technology that enables you to have a real whiteboard behind. So that the first thing that you can do with an interactive whiteboard like ours is to just write on the actual whiteboard behind it while you're projecting something. And this can save a teacher a lot of time. Another thing that you can do with interactive whiteboards is virtual manipulatives, and I'll show you something along those lines here. Here's a game that students can play to try to get the square above these two squares to be the absolute value of the difference between the two squares below. So clearly 13 needs to go there, and if you put 13 there, it turns green. And I haven't solved the puzzle yet myself after discovering it this morning, but you can see that would be a lot of fun for kids.
Yeah.
Another type of presentation that you can do is with Mathematica, the software from Wolfram Research. You can create a slideshow which is actually dynamic. So, for example, in calculus, if we're showing the sandwich theorem, then rather than spending a lot of time sketching, you can actually do this, and then you could actually change one of the variables and recompute like that. So you have a dynamic element to your presentation. Teacher can prepare the slideshow ahead of time. As you can see, you can have all kinds of graphics or even calculations that you can be working on there. A different type of interactivity with Mathematica involves something like this. This is a small demonstration that's prepared ahead of time for teaching about conic sections. And this particular one showing that the same two foci, the ellipse and the parabola, intersect orthogonally at right angles. So the student or the teacher is able to change one of the variables or both the variables and to see that something like that is true. This is the kind of thing that in the old days using a chalkboard would take a great deal of time to set up and to show.
Or an overhead projector also.
Well, that's right. And you know, when I showed this, in the old days you'd use an overhead projector probably and make a transparency and then write on the transparency, and that would take a long time. Yeah. Another way to go is to go online and get all kinds of virtual manipulatives or anything else that you can find online. Here's something from the National Library of Virtual Manipulatives. It's Platonic solids happens to be this particular one. You can make it transparent, you can rotate it, you can change the side. And what I kind of like is that you can do something cool with it. It actually lets you count edges, vertices, and faces. I have to hold down Shift there. And you see down here, it's counting the edges for me as I do this. And the students can explore themselves and find out Euler's, whatever it's called, Euler's equation that relates the sides, the number of sides, vertices, and faces of solids. And there's another shape, and there's another shape, and so on.
Okay.
Octahedron. So,
Nice.
yeah. So by using the power of the computer and the